Who is he of whom shall be spoken here tonight? Who is he of whom shall be spoken here tonight? For generations he has served us well, sometimes against his will, and sometimes with a kind of loyalty you would not find in a dog. But most times he has served us with a commitment beyond the call of duty. There's so many aspects of identity associated with me, or questions of identity associated with me. And in order to answer the question, who am I need to look the deepest in I can. And it doesn't mean from my earliest memory of me, but just my strongest consciousness of who I am at this point in time. And I think I'm a very angry young man, trapped in an aging body, trying to do a massive job that I'll never finish before I die. So that's my deepest, closest assessment of myself. And then as those layers go out, I start to see an artist at work. And I think that's the first response to my consciousness is therefore I practice as an artist. I try to heal myself and the world at the same time by practicing my art. What is that art? I can sing, I can dance, I can write, I can act, I can produce, I can direct. I might have said that twice. All of them very well. And after that comes the next layer. I'm a parent, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, and then the last layer, I'm a public figure that the society look to for some sort of comment on any sort of event all the time in South African society. I think it's not a question of what makes me angry now. I think I've been angry for a long time, and that's probably around about 17 or 16 years old, when I realized that the world I was offered was a lie. The apartheid concoction that was offered to me as my worldview or my dispensation, the way I was supposed to view everything, was one big lie. It was too covered in matters of the church. It was too covered in matters of the state. The time came for me to start again. And starting again means taking this consciousness, rebooting it right back to square one, and starting to see the world the way I was asked not to, and make analysis. And every time I came to an analysis, I hit my head up against the wall that was known as apartheid. Wait, we're not done. When apartheid comes to an official end in 1994, nothing changes. I thought I'd wake up with a magic wand a few weeks later, and oh boy, the visions that I had for the society during apartheid, for post-apartheid, I realized they were not going to materialize. Not in my lifetime. And it meant rebooting again. Going back to the start of my artistic struggle as an artist, as an actor, writer, director. Starting that struggle all over again against a society that once again claims an unfair advantage because of its exclusionist policies from 1994 to the present time. So it's not what makes me angry. This thing that I'm angry about now, it's been the same monster since I had my first awakening as a 17-year-old black South African facing an unjust society. I am Sonny Egelhof, a self-taught jazz musician from the Umtata district of the Transkei. A strange place indeed for an English-speaking European South African with a German surname. I married the beautiful Violet Horsfield, a coloured woman whose mother was Xhosa from the Lusigi area. And in 1933, on the eve of the Great Depression, our first child was born, a little boy. We named him Basil. And by the time the war broke out in 1939, Violet and I had 3 little mouths to feed. Now that is indeed a difficult position for any man to be in, especially for one who relied on the playing of music to earn a living. Well, first of all, I hope that in my work I've given them pointers, that if people could bother enough to unpack my contribution to the society, my creative contribution, they will find bits of a map towards what this vision is. I reflect it in my work for generations, where I can quote a line that says, "How's it, Oaks? Check your Oaks want to feel close to the bat and all, that's cool. I just want to tune you one thing, Laka, before I start playing this game. You check my face, huh? Check it, Laka, because by this face is the future of this game in this country, bro. Your larchies are going to tune about this face for generations to come, bro. But before I face one ball from you guys, I just want you to know this. That me, I expect you to play this game in the rules of this game, in the spirit of this game, fairly, so that I can get a chance to prove that I am who I say I am. Not who you say I am. Is that too much to ask, bro? So that for me is like a pointer to the future. What would I like to see? I'd like to see people taking personal responsibility first. We just segued so quickly into one mass responsibility, that was the mess of white capitalist power during apartheid, to another much larger mess of equal irresponsibility of, let's call it, so-called liberated black backlash, that we just went crazy and without any responsibility put in new systems into the society and plundered our financial reserves, plundered our state coffers, and now our economy is in chaos because of that kind of stuff. I don't want to see that. I want to see a society with 100% responsible individuals that park properly in a parking bay, not because that's the right thing to do, because they're wired right, and that they don't abuse their fellow human being so that they can have a better, comfortable life. That's still going on in South Africa. I want that to stop, even in my own lifetime. I want people to stop abusing other people and getting rich and comfortable at the expense of the other, regardless of the color. So it's a bit of a class analysis thing that I wish to impose to bring a bit of justice, a bit of integrity, human integrity, back to our society, that we don't have babies being murdered at 2 weeks old because they weren't planned by the so-called parents, and all those other horrific things that plague South African society today. I want to see those things taken away. I have chosen to put the artist at the core of this hierarchy because I believe the highest possible integrity, the greatest amount of honesty is available in an artist's expression. A father, whilst doing amazing things, can still mess up grandly and possibly get away with it because that's the society. Thousands of fathers mess up every day, but we forgive them because blah, blah, blah. But an artist is always going to be self-evaluating all the time. And an artist is always going to look within for the concept of right or wrong, which I believe doesn't exist. Me personally, Kurt, I don't believe there's a concept of right or wrong. I believe there's an analysis of what I've done and how can I do it better next time. Now, politicians, the public figures, they get an opportunity to decide what is right and wrong. They judge themselves to be right all the time, but 90% of the time, in this current paradigm, they are wrong. But they plaster their mistakes. They cover their axe wounds with the band-aid of economic reward. People come with fake matric certificates and get big government jobs in the Department of Communications and the head of the SABC, etc., with fake education, with fake morality, with fake capacities. And when they get caught, they just put some more money over it to make it go away. And so they, not only they give themselves, they know that they're living in the rot of corrupt morality, corrupt economy, corrupt political and social values, but they persist. I believe an artist will not make that mistake. So I live my life according to the artistic passions that come first and foremost out of me, not out of my children, my wife, my neighbors, or the people who create food and pick and pay and make food available, the rest of the society. I don't look there for truth. I look there for observation to assess my own truth. Two questions here. Let me take the first one first. The interrelationship between these layers, I think the more blurred they get, the less effective they become. Because someone would start to think that they're a jack of all trades and a master of all trades, and doing everything fabulously. I'm a successful artist, my work is popular, people are paying to watch, my children love me, I'm a great father, my spouse loves me, wonderful. Hey, look, very shaky. The more successful an artist, the less successful those things are. And I believe it's because the individual involved has not protected those layers, has not learned to separate, so that when you come to your child, you go, and you bring on the dad. So that the artist going, hey, I want to go write something in you. I want to go and act. The dad in you says, whoa, that's not the time for that now. The time for now is to address your child's need. Service the need of your child. When that's done, you can go back. I can go back to the center. So the child goes, you don't start taking photographs so you can use it in your next play or start writing about it. I believe if you've got them separated, you go in there and you be that 100% dad and heal that. And when that's done, you can go somewhere else. When the public's saying, we demand a speech on morality from so-and-so, the public person. And you leave all those things behind and you go there and focus and go, this is my opinion on this public issue. And you say it clear. It probably won't be popular, but at least you say it clear. And this was the part that I was not ready for. Because I looked up and I saw it. Eyeball to eyeball, face to face. I saw the monster. And I realized that the monster was inside me. For generation after generation, it had fed on the bullshit promises that misled us. I should have stopped it. I should have shouted in my mother's language, Pula la matagati. I have seemed to have found the secret of success for myself. Yay! I have found the secret of success for myself. And right up front, that's all that matters first. Because if you haven't found the secret of success for yourself, where do you get off trying to share the secret of success with one other person, let alone a community of 2,000 who are willing to pay 1,000 rand an hour to hear you share the secret of success? That's just pure daylight robbery. So people who put themselves up as finders of the secret of success and will sell it to you are fake. They're those people traveling through your village with snake oil. Once you found the secret of success for yourself, you shut the hell up and you do. You start to do, you act, you live your life. You don't speak about living your life or pitch your life in a magazine for people to go, that's the image of success. You do it and you leave all those other suckers who want to buy into the fake symbolism, materialism, the images that the world offers. You leave them to their own devices. And I use my work to try and cross that bridge. So that when my audience see me perform, they go, oh my God, he's willing to be vulnerable. He's willing to share his pain, his joy, his experience as a human being. And it is my hope that that's where a switch flicks. And I don't care how much box office I do or don't do. That will come. If you follow the money, you'll always be a follower. But if you follow your heart and do what you want to do, there's a strong chance that money will follow you. I'm living that a little bit. discover it. Hello. Don't let this monster lurk around silently, waiting for you in much later life to take you by surprise, and you're never going to recover. You're going to need medication to live out your days. So discover your anger. What is it that pissed you off beyond measure? James Baldwin, fantastic artist, and by self-explanation, a failure at almost everything else. A human being who just was always didn't fit in, but at least he made the first step. He acknowledged his anger and he let it come out. So I've taken a lesson from that. I've acknowledged my anger, I've let it come out, and I've learned to live with it. Then there came the period of the single young artist trying to make it in a racist economy, a racist culture in the 80s, when the only parts I was being offered were the kitchen help. We all know the story. The kitchen help, the garden help. He played that colored barman. Dankie my baas, hier's jou drankie my baas. Okay, play the colored bass there. Sorry my boss, you go first my boss. But next time you must indicate nicely, eh? He played the colored juvenile delinquent, selling drugs to the neighbors' kids next door. All of this apartheid theatre, he sucked it up. But when they said, now you must play the colored alcoholic, who comes home every drunk, he comes home every day drunk, and greets his wife at the door thus. Who's that so ugly bitch? And he goes into the bedroom to kiss the children goodnight. Then he goes into the backyard to play his brother what he owes him. And the brother's wife. And the children. Then he climbs over the fence and he pumps, rapes the neighbor's kids next door. That's when he drew the line. That one he refused to suck up.